Rumors have continued to circulate that Kris Jenner isn't entirely supportive of her youngest daughter Kylie Jenner's relationship with actor Timothée Chalamet, and while the Kardashian-Jenner matriarch has not spoken publicly about it, insiders close to the family suggest that Kris may have strong reservations about the pairing, reservations that stem from a mix of maternal concern, brand strategy, and personal expectations for Kylie's future. Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe and click the notifications bell, so you don't miss any news about your favorites. Kris, who has built a multi-billion-dollar empire from managing the careers, images, and relationships of her daughters, is known for being deeply invested in every major decision they make, especially when it comes to the men they date. With Kylie being one of the most successful and high-profile members of the family, Kris is said to be particularly careful about who is allowed into her daughter's inner circle, and Timothée, despite his undeniable fame, talent, and charm, might not check all the boxes Kris typically looks for in a long-term partner for one of her daughters. While Timothée Chalamet is celebrated in Hollywood for his roles in critically acclaimed films and his artistic integrity, he leads a vastly different lifestyle from the highly commercial, camera-ready world of the Kardashian-Jenners. He tends to stay out of the limelight, avoids oversharing on social media, and maintains a low-key persona that appeals to fans of indie films and fashion-forward culture. However, Kris may see this as a red flag, someone who is too private, too independent from the brand machine, and not necessarily willing to engage in the media exposure and public-facing image that has defined Kylie's success. Sources close to the family have hinted that Kris feels Timothée might be more of a passing phase for Kylie rather than someone who is seriously ready to settle down and become a stepfather figure to her two children. Kylie, who shares her kids with rapper Travis Scott, is in a very different stage of life than Timothée, and Kris may worry that their goals and timelines don't align. There's a sense that Timothée, still rising through the ranks of Hollywood and deeply immersed in his career, might not be able or willing to provide the level of emotional or logistical stability Kris would want for Kylie and her children. Additionally, Kris reportedly prefers partners who are either fully integrated into the family brand or at least supportive of the family's heavy public presence. In the past, boyfriends like Scott Disick, Kanye West, and even Travis Scott, though controversial in their own ways, played significant roles in the Kardashian-Jenner media universe. In contrast, Timothée has been notably absent from any major public engagements with the family and is rarely photographed alongside them at big events. This makes Kris question whether he's truly committed or just testing the waters of a high-profile relationship. On a strategic level, Kris is also known to assess every relationship not just from an emotional standpoint but from a business one. She has long maintained that relationships, when nurtured and marketed well, can be powerful tools to boost individual and collective brand value. With Timothée's reluctance to become part of that world, Kris might be concerned that Kylie is engaging in a relationship that, while personally fulfilling in the moment, doesn't bring any long-term synergy to the Kardashian-Jenner media dynasty. There's also the question of image compatibility. Timothée's reputation as an artsy, soft-spoken, almost reclusive actor may clash with Kylie's bold, beauty mogul persona, and Kris might feel the mismatch could eventually lead to conflict, misunderstanding, or even public backlash if things sour. Of course, it's important to note that Kris Jenner, first and foremost, is a mother. Beyond all the brand deals and image management, her deepest concern is likely Kylie's emotional well-being and happiness. If she senses that Timothée isn't offering Kylie the emotional depth, loyalty, or stability she deserves, or if she sees Kylie making choices that seem impulsive or unbalanced, then her disapproval comes from a place of love, not control. As someone who's spent decades navigating fame, fortune, and heartbreak, Kris likely has a deep intuition for relationships that may not stand the test of time. And with Kylie already having faced emotional ups and downs in her past relationships, Kris is likely hypervigilant about preventing her from repeating the same patterns. Whether or not Kris eventually warms up to Timothée depends on how serious the relationship becomes and whether he proves, over time, that he is more than just a temporary fixture in Kylie's life. But until then, it's clear that Kris, ever the strategist and fiercely protective mother, will be keeping a close and cautious eye on the romance, weighing every move not just through a mother's heart, but through the lens of a media empire she built from the ground up. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like this video and drop comments. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything.